So your stove's over there? Over where?
I just moved it. I think you could see it. I'm just going to be over there for a couple of seconds. I want to show them how to make the gelatin plastic.
Cool. Good. Because they're going to love that.
Because a lot of people, Lori and I were talking about that they just have gone away from it, and it's really quite magnificent.
Yeah.
It's easy too.
Yes, I agree. There's a lot of techniques. I mean, I guess I've been around long enough that I've seen things come and go, and
oh yes,
a lot of things need to be coming back. Like this.
We were talking about that and the piping and the that's what my first classes were originally, was all Wilton and all piping. I was telling her about this. The soccer ball, I just pulled off the fondant and left the little black things, and I just piped that ball, bang. As soon as they said they didn't like fondant, I changed the ball.
That's awesome. It's good to be able to change on the fly. Hello, Jessica, Jerry, and Denise. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure you guys are sharing. Hello, Carolyn. How are you, sweetie? Pam, welcome from Canada. Make sure everybody's sharing. I'm sharing. There we go. We got excited. Hey, Karen, how are you? Catherine, yay! It's like my buddies, like all my buddies that we get a couple times a week, you know? You going 5? Hello, Amy. She is excited. Her platinum printer came and printed for you printed from her first 150 cookie order. It's amazing. Did you get the Cricut too with that, since you're doing?
Wow.
I wish we could do like where we could see other people too and see what you made. Make sure you share it. I'm so excited for you. Yay. So excited. I love it. Which printer did you get? Which platinum printer? Because we got a couple of them. Did you get 702, or did you get the 6320 or the 8520? Oh, you had the Cricut, Amy. Ah, you are so wise. You must have loved that. I know the Cricut's like that combination. I know I over talk about that, but it is because it's such an awesome setup, and it saves you so much time, and time is money, and I like to multitask. Like, it's really hard for me just to sit here and talk because I want to do 3 other things. But that Cricut printer combo, the best. Hello, Sharon. Hello. Oh, everybody's jumping on. So exciting. Oh, you think the 6320? Good. That's well, all our printers are good. I don't know why I asked, so that I could tell you that you got a good printer, because they're all good. I wouldn't sell it if it wasn't. You haven't? Oh, you haven't used the Cricut yet? Oh my gosh, you have to use that. You would have been, if you wait on that, you're going to get so mad at yourself, Amy. Just say, you'd be like, why didn't I do this sooner? Oh, wow. Let's see. Good afternoon, Kathy Moore. We're only at a few minutes after. We'd like to wait till about 5 after. Did any of y'all join us over on Instagram? Soleil from Finland, hello. I've met you before, haven't I, Soleil? Or have I met another Soleil in my life? I feel like I've met you before. But there could be 2. There's not that many in my life, so. And Krishna from Georgia. Kathy Moore learned how to print and cut. Yay, Kathy Moore! My stomach's like growling really loud, so if you hear it, I'm sorry. Print and cut is.
We don't hear it.
Huh?
I didn't hear it.
Oh, good. It's like really loud. So
I wanted. Can I turn my phone sideways?
You can turn it any way you want, and I'll turn this way. Watch. We're gonna start. We start usually like about another minute because I like to let people get on.
Remember the last time? It won't let me rotate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's what we discovered. Kathy Moore does not do Instagram. I'm sorry, Kathy. You okay?
I'm good.
Amy
I
Clayton.
can't rotate my phone though.
Okay, we'll live. We'll just all like turn up. No, just kidding.
Yeah, we did it before.
Okay. Amy Clayton, can I use the Cricut some way with the edible printer? Oh, yes, you can. You use the software from your Cricut to control your printer and then control the Cricut. So it tells the printer where to print and the cutter where to cut. We have a whole food safe bundle to go along with that. So yeah, definitely. You will love it, Amy. Kathy Moore, is the discount code good on printer store? Kathy, do you mean, so the discount codes that we have are good when you're buying equipment and supplies, but not when you're buying, when we print for you. That's the only place that it's not good. There's no coupon code availability there. But if you're buying any supplies or equipment, yes, yes, yes. Okay. And Carol's going to stand on her head. Send a picture, please. Amy, you didn't know that? Nakia, hello. Karen Lee, I got the Cricut combo early May. That was last year, but have not got to set it up yet. So you're going to do it this weekend. Been a lot going on. Can't wait. My dear, you're going to be so mad at yourself, but do it. And then I want you to tell us on Tuesday that you did it. So everybody has to hold Karen Lee responsible on Tuesday that she tried to do the Cricut combo.
Okay.
Jessica, if you print from iPrint, how can you cut with Cricut? Okay, so it we're like totally off track, but this is good information, so I'm going to tell you, Jessica, if you want to print from, if you want to do the print and cut, you actually use the software from the Cricut, and it tells the printer what and where you want to print. And so it prints a box around it as well in that software that from the Cricut. And then the Cricut, when you go to use it, it actually tells it where everything is within that box so it can cut everything. So you actually don't use iPrint when you are using the print and cut combo. And let's see, Thelma from Alabama. Brittany, I have the Cricut. I don't know about the combo. Oh, early March, Karen. Okay. It's not that bad then. That was like May last year. Morning, Kate. How are you? Oh, I forgot to. Okay, I don't know where I put that. Oh, I put it in the drawer. I probably didn't shut the door. All right, we've got to get started, I think. I'm talking too much. Once again, imagine that.
Good information.
Huh? I'm sorry?
Good information.
Yeah, Amy cut 150 images by hand. She is never going to do that again after. So yeah, definitely. By the way, guys, just saying, if you have an Apple iOS device, so it can be a phone, it can be an iPad, an iPod if they're still in existence. We are going to be live on Clubhouse tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So all these questions about that print and cut.
Yeah, you're gone. I can hear you. You're gone. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear? Okay. Okay. Okay.
She get knocked off?
She did, yeah. She's coming back.
Elizabeth. Here I am. Sorry about that. I don't know where I went.
You're back.
Okay. So as I was saying, we're doing a Clubhouse. It is an app you can download on Apple, any Apple product. Unfortunately, it does not work on your PC, or if you have an Android, it's relatively new, but it's a time for us to chat like a radio talk show. Come and join us there. If you need an invite, go ahead and message me privately and we can see what we can do for that. So I'm back. I think everyone can hear us. Also, don't forget there's a coupon scrolling across the bottom. Jessie's going to show you some really cool things using our semi-transfer sheets. So you're going to want to use that coupon code and save yourself a little bit of money. And I think that's all my announcements for now. So Jessie and Riley has been with us many times before. She is a very unique artist. She has a ton of information. As we were talking about previous to us starting, we both have been in the industry long enough to see techniques come and go. And this technique that she's showing you tonight or today is a great technique that is kind of a lost art, I guess. It needs to come back because it's really cool. And what I also like about Jessie is she's got a very scientific, analytical mind. So when she sees something, she looks at it at many different angles and comes up with new ways and new techniques. So definitely pay attention, ask lots of questions. It is a privilege and an honor to have Miss Jessie Ann Riley. All you, babe.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. I hope you enjoy this. My screen, I can't turn sideways, Deb.
Okay.
So it's a very small screen, but we dealt with that the last time. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make gelatin plastic. The last time I was on, I gave you a formula, but it's always nice to know how easy it is to make gelatin plastic. And I use just the regular Knorr, just in the grocery store. Buy it there. You don't have to have gelatin sheets. If you have them, you can use them too.
Okay.
I used bottled water that's not out of the tap. And this is the box that you'll see in the grocery.
Okay, sorry.
This is the box you'll see into the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cheap. Gelatin plastic is economical, so it does take a little time for it to set up, much faster than when I'm using isomalt and the other demos that I've shown you, but it's a lot of fun. So
now
what I'm going to
call
tell
it
you right
gelatin.
now,
you call it gelatin plastic. This is totally edible, correct?
yes. Unless you wire it and do what I'm going to show you, you don't eat the wire, but it's all edible. Okay, so it's 6 tablespoons of water. I'm gonna pull this down a little bit so you can see it. You see my pot?
We can see, yes, we can.
Pot. Lori and I were just speaking about, you can do this in the microwave. I rewarm it in the microwave, but the first melt, I use the stove. I'm just old fashioned. Okay. And it only takes a few seconds for it to happen. So I'm going to do 6 tablespoons of water into this clean pot. And I'm going to use 1 package of gelatin. And I'm just going to sprinkle it over the top. Just bloom it a little bit. If you don't have the patience to bloom it, then you can stir it in. It won't hurt it. Okay? Just gently over the top. You're going to have some little white marks, maybe. Don't be alarmed about that. Now I have my stove on over there, and if you trust me, I'm only going to be over there till this steams. And a lot of people ask me, well, what about the color? You can add color at any time. after it's bloomed.
Got it.
Okay, so you see the little white marks and things there. Don't be alarmed about that because that's just gelatin. Gelatin isn't what we're going to do now. I'm going to stir this in. I have a spoon. I'm just going to stir it a little bit because that takes away the white marks. If you wanted to increase and use 2 to make it thicker, you can also do that. 2 packages of gelatin to 6. But this is the formula for gelatin plastic, okay? So
Okay.
now you see it's all kind of liquefied and bloomed.
Yeah, just pull it towards you a little bit. It's hard to see you. There we go. Okay, good. We can see it now.
You can see that?
Yeah.
There. Okay, so the stove is over to my left. It's probably on your right. But there's no sense moving the camera. It'll only take a couple of seconds.
All right. So guys, if you, I know Kathy Moore lost her internet for a little bit, but this will replay later, as you guys know. So be sure to jump on. And you're just going over there and you're just going to bring it to a little bit of a steam, you said, right? Oh, maybe she can't hear. She's at her stove at this point. So she's bringing it to a steam. Make sure you guys all ask questions, please. Let's see. So did any of you all see the Instagram live on Tuesday? If you did, do you prefer it over Facebook or do you not prefer it at all because you don't go on Instagram? Let me know. Just go ahead and put notes here. All right, she's back. So you just heated it until it's steamed?
Till it's steamed. And see, it's got a scum on the top of it. So that's why I have this little dish. And what you do is you take a little spoon and you just turn it sideways and you just take some of that scum off. Don't be alarmed by it. The biggest thing about gelatin plastic is that you don't want a lot of bubbles in it. Now, the one thing that I'm going to show you is a butterfly. And when I did the butterfly, there was bubbles on the butterfly. So what I did is I took my torch and I torched it a little bit, just like you do with isomalt, and took the bubbles out. So you see the scum is now more clear gelatin. And I'm going to pour it into this bowl here and you'll see how clear it is. Can you see that?
Yep.
Nice and clear, nice and clear. And I'm going to put that in the sink. So right now that's hot, but you mustn't be alarmed about it being hot. I'm going to get a transfer sheet for you.
Now, I'm going to talk about.
Let that cool a little bit. So
right,
this is a former for a, yep.
No, you go ahead.
That's them, transfer sheet.
Yeah, so the semi-transfer sheet is, it's not really a cocoa sheet. You know, the transfer sheets that you use for chocolate, it works with chocolate, but there's no cocoa butter in this.
Yes.
And that's what makes it a little bit different. It works with hot mediums. And we'll put the link on here for you. But just so you're aware, Sydney from Sydney Cakes sells these pre-printed. If you have an edible printer, we sell the blank ones. So whichever you prefer. All right, all you, sorry. So
this I'm kind of partial to this one, but I've started using it. So I have just a former here for a tulip or a rose. And I have a 26 gauge wire. You can hardly see it because it's white. And also I use black depending on what bug you're making or what flower you're making. And or whether you want it to be green, green wire can be used. Also, for your leaves or for your just laying it down onto the transfer sheet. So I'm just going to show you the form first. So I just take it and wrap it around. Just wrap the wire around and twist.
So you're twisting it on the actual, like that's like a cookie cutter, right?
Yeah, it's the former for the roses.
Oh,
You use
okay.
a plastic former. You know, you cut the rose petal. So I just use it so they'll all be. I just use that so they'll all be the same size. And then I take something sharp like my little scissors. And if I want to, I can pull it so it's elongated like this. And then you can you can form it to whatever you want your petal to be. Then this end is your dip. So what I do is I test to see that it stands up by itself. Okay? And it does. So I'm going to do one of these for you onto this sheet. I'm going to cut it down a little bit because we don't need to use the whole thing. I have some already made for you. Everybody hear me okay?
Yep, you're doing good. So that pattern that you're using is actually an iDesigns pattern as well. So Sydney sells them from Simi Cakes, but that pattern is number 2136 off of iDesigns.
Yes. And this is one sheet that I used already to make some petals, just natural petals with the wire on it. And I don't waste this because I can make more onto this, the smaller ones. So I just wanted to show you that. And then you end up with the acetate paper, so don't throw it out because you can do anything on acetate, chocolate, you can do all of that. So you save all these that you get from Icing Images after your transfer is done. And then you can do more just ordinary gelatin plastic onto that, and it'll set up overnight and you'll have a beautiful piece and you can cut it in ribbons or whatever you want. So I'm going to take this is the gelatin, and this is my little form. Okay, I'm going to dip it into the gelatin and it will have gelatin on it, and then I'm setting it right on to that transfer.
Okay. Can you tilt your camera just, yeah, I would tilt the camera a little bit so that you're not, I don't want you to pour that off. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So you can see that now that's got to sit there. Okay. I've got some over here already made and I'm going to pull them off for you. And then they make the petals. Now, if you weren't happy with the amount of gelatin that you picked up and put on there, you can add to it with a little brush. You just, I'm going to, hopefully this is in the screen. So this is the gelatin again, okay? And I'm just going to take my little brush and I'm just going to dab it here. Maybe I want a little more gelatin, but you see there's a bubble that got in there?
Yeah,
we just push them to the side. So you can add more gelatin as you go, and then it sits up. I would say it takes 2 hours for all your little petals to set up. If you just give me a second, I'm going to go and get some that have set that I did just before we did this.
It's the magic of TV. So Simi Cakes, which we put the link up already, they sell the pre-printed ones. We sell the ones that are blank for you to use with your edible printer. And the designs there are on iDesigns. And I put the number iDesign that is actually being used. All right.
Okay, so you see they just lift right off after they're set like this. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yep. See how I just pulled that up? These two have kind of decided to be friends. Don't worry about that. You just snip them apart. And they just lift off of your sheet. Just
They
like
look
that.
very light.
Yes, they're very light, and that's what makes it so great for a cake and for your image that I have over here. And then you see how much of that sheet is left. You can still use all the in-between parts of that for smaller petals or larger petals, or you can also just take gelatin plastic and go over the top of that and wait overnight and lift it off, and you've got this pattern of holes that can sit right onto your cake.
Oh, wow.
It's a design. It
That
forms
is.
its own design. It's just beautiful.
Wow.
Okay. So I'm going to put this together for you shortly. But first off, I want to show you the butterfly, because I know that people love butterflies. And if you're putting butterflies on a cupcake and on your cake, you want them to sit there like a natural looking and so light that you don't have to be worried about it breaking your buttercream or anything like that. So here's one without the center in it. Gelatin plastic.
Oh, wow. So you just took, I know Sydney has a pre-printed butterfly that she sells, and you just poured it right on there pretty much. And then trimmed it, maybe?
Yeah, so I'm going to show you. You can print them. You're with your, okay, so there's one of the butterflies before it has gelatin on it. Okay, and I made this little wire that I want the stamens to be sticking out at the other end. If you don't want to wire it, you don't have to wire it, but it makes it great when you want to put a little body on it. So again, I'm going to get my, you can see that butterfly?
Yes. Oh, now we can't.
Okay.
You moved it.
So I'm going to use my brush, just like Sydney does, and I do with sugar.
Okay, bring it closer to you.
On this butterfly.
Bring it closer to you. You had shifted it. There we go. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going on to the butterfly.
Ooh.
With the gelatin, gently pulling it over. Just within the lines. If you go outside the lines, don't worry about it. You cut that off later.
That's really easy to do.
You know what?
What?
Young people love it. Just be light, very nice and light with your brush. And then I'm going to put some more over here.
Hey, Jessie. Old people like it too.
Oh, I know, sweetheart. I was like, I do too. I have so much fun doing all this stuff.
I'm old too.
You're not old.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
We're all lucky that we're there.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to give a little bit on the, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it going over the edges. You just be delicate with it so you don't smear. But if you smear, butterflies are smeared, don't worry. So then I'm going to take my little wire and I'm just going to set it right on there. See that? Now that by tomorrow or later on this evening, it's going to pull off. And I'm going to show you the one I just did a little bit ago. Magic of TV. There it is. That's it. And you see this white area that you have? That's also transfer sheet. And you can do white petals with the sides of those that are left over from your butterfly. And that is also
comes out white
paper. Yes.
Oh.
White flowers, you know, and then you can re-dip it also into another color. We'll do that another time.
Okay.
So we have to set this aside and I'm going to bring a butterfly to you.
Okay. And I'm going to ask a couple questions. Nakia, oh, we lost her. She'll be back when she realizes she's not there. So Nakia, you said the sheets are already printed with the patterns. Actually, the sheets come blank from Icing Images. So if you have, it's just another one of our edible papers that we sell. It's called the Semi Transfer Sheet. And the link we had posted just a few minutes ago. We sell them blank. If you do not have an edible printer, Simi Cakes actually sells some patterns on their website as well. That link is already posted above. Catherine, you wanted to know if you can use a transfer sheet under a metal cookie cutter as a form and pour the gelatin. Yes, that's what I thought she was going to do. And she did it a little bit differently. So yes, you can. It kind of acts as it's a border for it. I'm like really excited. I want to take one of those cool patterns that you saw, and I want to do a full sheet and then then pick it up and take a look at it and see how it feels and how it moves. I'm really quite interested to see how that works. And I actually have some gelatin here, so I think I'm going to try that. I'm really excited. I don't think she realizes that she's off. She will in a minute. So she'll be back with us pretty quick. Did you have any other questions at all? I know Tuesday we were on Instagram, and it's just some people love it, some people don't. The Facebook allows you to use Facebook allows you to use your computer, which I know a lot of people like. I'm old school, but we need to try to branch out a little bit. So we're going to do some Instagram here and there, but I'm a Facebook fan big time. I like some of the things that we can do with it, especially I can see the messages. I have a hard time on Instagram reading everything, so I'll have to make some adjustments. The younger folk like to do that because they can see everything. So make sure too that you join us on Clubhouse tomorrow night. If you need an invite, message me. I think I have some invites that I can do. If not, I know enough people that are on that can get you invited. You have to have an Apple product in order to do that. And I specifically chose Clubhouse at 6 p.m. tomorrow night Eastern Standard Time because you all are going to be decorating. And the neat thing about Clubhouse, if you don't know what it is, it's sort of like a radio talk show. So you don't have to be watching and focusing on the screen. But if you have a question, you can actually kind of raise your hand and ask that question, like a radio talk show. And I'll be on, and Sydney Mitchell will be on, as well as Riva will be on as well. So we're going to talk about edible, basically icing images as usual. But I figured a lot of you are going to be actually working then, and you may come up with some questions that are needed to be asked right there and then. Because Friday night we get a lot of questions. Because everybody's active. So that's kind of why we're doing it then. Plus I have no life. All my kids go off and do stuff Friday nights. So it's a good time for me to talk. You know I like to do that. So definitely join us on Clubhouse and ask your questions. And definitely, if you all who are asking questions about the print and cut, it's amazing. We can talk about it then. Sydney Mitchell of Sugar Coin Academy absolutely adores that. She's a business person. Here she comes! Yay! Welcome back, Jessie.
We lost you there for a little while.
Yeah.
But thank goodness. Thank goodness for your audience. They're all very patient.
Oh, we had some questions, and then I answered those, and then you know me, I can talk.
I know you can. You're really good at that.
Mama taught me well. Ooh, look at that.
Here's your butterfly I made earlier, the same way that I put the gelatin plastic onto the other butterfly. And in about 45 minutes, that other butterfly will release itself. It just automatically releases. And here it is.
Oh, wow. Do me a favor and kind of spin it so we can see all how thin it is, and then look how thin that is. That's pretty cool.
Now you'll see on the outside, sometimes that's why I said, don't worry about not staying, that you have to stay inside the lines, because you can trim all that off, the white. And then also you notice that I painted this in yellow gelatin plastic in the middle. And then you see what I use this for. I might wrap this with white floral tape and put it into my cascading flowers, or I put it on top of a wonderful cupcake, and people just go, can we eat that? I said, yes, you can eat it. Just don't eat the wire. But you see how that is flying through the air.
Okay, I have a question for you. This is my mind going. Can you do two of those identically and then put them back to back?
You can, yes. But
how would you sandwich them together?
The reason that I wouldn't say that you would want to do that is because you can go on the well, okay, that's because you want the blue looking like this on the back. Is that what the question is?
Yeah.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
You can just, what you do is just paint the other one and set that one on there. And then it will stick that way. But it is something that it would take some time and practice it.
Uh-huh.
Like, but the other thing you can do with this is after it's finished and it's set like this, you can just go in here and paint that anything you want.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
I just, yes, because that is just the transfer sheet right there. It's just paper, edible paper.
What would you paint it with?
You can use your gel color, or you can use whatever you might want to use on it.
You mean these beautiful artisan accent gels that we sell would work?
Yes. If you wanted to do that, you could do that. But a lot of the time, here's the other one that I made for you. And I used royal icing to make it look like a bug.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of the time, what you're not seeing is the opposite side of that, because you're doing it into a cascading with your flowers or whatever you're using it for. This is the one that had all the bubbles. I left some of the bubbles in it, but I see right here there was a lot of bubbles. So all I did was take my torch lightly over and go with it, and it took the bubbles out of it.
Got it. All right. So I have a question, or we have a question. Catherine wants to know now: does that molded piece that you created, the butterfly wings, is it flexible or does it dry to a crisp?
It's flexible. Depends. This one has 2 coats of the gelatin on it, so this one isn't. This one is not as flexible, but I can go like that and make it like that. This
so do the wings bend? Oh yeah, look at that, guys.
This is very flexible because it has 1 coat on it, just like I did with the first wired one. Okay, the petal that I was doing. So all
will it hold its shape?
Pardon?
Will it hold its shape?
Yes, it holds its shape. You put it into the, like, I'm going to show you this. I'll bring it over so that they can see all the shapes of the other ones. I just have to get you in camera. This is my bug land. Okay, so this one is done. You bend them. You see how I can bend that?
That's so cool.
Shape it. And then if I wanted to, I take a little royal icing or whatever you're using for glue, and you can stick it there, or you can wire it into your cascading. And this one here.
Now, it has a border around it. Is that wire around the edge on those?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the white wire that I was using on the first one that I demonstrated.
Okay.
I'm going to show you some that do not have wire around the edging. And then I'm going to put them together as a flower. But this your flex. Now you see on this one, I put in some luster, and both sides. See that? And see that? they're both the same.
Yeah.
So like the answer to the butterfly thing is if you wanted both of them to look the same, add a little luster into your gelatin plastic and they'll both have that opaque look. And that's what that is.
Huh.
So you see both of those sides, and they're made with, 1 sec, I'll get it for you.
That's really interesting, the way that it comes, the luster just makes it more visible, I guess. I guess because
yes, it makes it.
Yeah.
See that side is the same as that side. And these are from this image. That side is the same as this side. And this one, I put a little, I didn't trim this off, but I used yellow gelatin plastic with this one. Just because I'm a discoverer person, but I do it. I have a lot of the flowers and a lot of the bugs. And I'm going to show you one that is done without it only has a center wire in it. And you can just.
So cool. I love color.
Yes, and we're going to make a flower out of this. And what I did is you can see what they look like when I gelatined them on the sheet.
Yeah.
So after, what I do is I take, if I want to form them nicely, I want them to look a little prettier, you just trim it.
You can hear it cut. You can see, you get an idea of the texture.
Yeah.
So now in May, we have a new guest coming on. And don't hold me to this, but she's doing something with wafer paper that may take the place of wire. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. The way it was described to me could actually take the place of that wire, which would be really way so cool, amazing.
Yes. The thing about the wire, if this is, you can do this.
Yeah.
So they asked about being flexible. When you first take them off, obviously they're going to be much more flexy. So you're going to put them together. And I can bend this down and do anything with it. See this little bug here?
Now, can that be refrigerated overnight?
You don't have to refrigerate them.
But can it be if you're putting it on a cake that needs to be refrigerated?
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes, you can put it. Yes. Oh, yes.
Cool.
Yes, you can. They don't melt. I saw, I don't know whether it was one of yours or something on YouTube that they talked about the gelatin plastic only lasts for a period of time. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I have had some of my gelatin that's out there, this one here, and this one here is 4 years old.
I think it lasts.
It does. And this one I painted both sides, so because I wanted it to go wonky. So after it's set up, then I put gelatin on the other side of it, and it went all wonky like a butterfly does. I didn't use wire on it. There's no wire. Really cool. So you can put the whole, it's just got royal icing in the middle to make it look like it's a bug. And you see, I could put that whole thing in my mouth, but you see how it went all natural, like a butterfly does? Well, that's the one answer to your question about getting two sides looking the same. You can do it. You just take it off, then paint the gelatin on the other side, and it can go wonky for you.
We like wonky, right, guys?
Yeah. Okay, so this is gelatin plastic, but it's got the luster in it. So I wanted to store it and keep it in the fridge. That's one thing you do have to do is with your colors and your bowls and things. After it sets up in your bowl, you can pull it right out and
Uh-huh.
then wrap it and put it in the fridge so you don't have bowl after bowl after stack after stack. And this is the one that I put the luster in. And you see it's just like a big jelly. Bing, 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 bing. And put
Okay.
that in the bowl. You put that back in the bowl and you just for 15 seconds intervals melt it in the microwave.
So okay, wait. Okay, so you took gelatin that you had made and not used, you let it set, you wrapped it in the saran wrap, you put it in the fridge or no?
Yes.
Yes,
I
you put it in the fridge. And now that you're ready to use it, now that you're ready to use it, you pulled it out and you put it into the bowl and microwaved it in 30-second intervals, and it came back to normal to be used again.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So like because I didn't want to waste my luster, and I wanted you to see this, that you can do this with gelatin. And then it saves you time. You take it out, put it in a bowl, and then you remelt it. Now I'm going to get the other bowls.
That's so cool. I love that because, we don't like the waste. And if you're not going to use it all, you can just keep reusing it. That's so amazing, awesome, wonderful.
And, you can have a whole array of colors. And like in the evening, while you're watching the TV, you can make your little wires or no wires at all and just dip them. Now I'm going to do, this is all set up, right? Mm-hmm. And my hands aren't dirty, they're clean. So I'm just going to go in there and get my gelatin.
Oh, wow. It kind of reminds me of Deco Gel a little bit.
Yes. And you can put that in wrap, and then you put it in the fridge, and you can take it back out, put it back in the bowl, and just melt it back down again and use it again. Okay. And so you could have green, you can have yellow, you can have, now that you must remember that because you're dipping or doing with gelatin, that if you want a real concentrated color, you have to add more color. Of course, everybody knows pretty much. Because it can come out. Now, the other thing I want to tell you is you can double dip. Like these that have already been dipped, if I decided I just wasn't too happy with, I wanted a little more gelatin, you can actually go in and bring it back out again and it's dipped again. Or you can dip the end and add another color in there. Or you can paint it. Okay. So wait. I got to ask a question. Hold on, I got to ask a question. I'm sorry to interrupt. If you are traveling to a competition, you could make this gelatin ahead of time, wrap it up, and take it with you and just remelt it in a microwave. So it's travelable. What a word. It travels well. And can you freeze it? Well, I know with another brand, which Flexique, you have to freeze that. This with me, I have not put it in the freezer because I've been using it. I've been so busy. I mean, I'm thankful that I'm busy, but I haven't had to freeze it.
Okay, so we just got to try it.
The thing, you do not want to put your hands in it without having absolute clean hands, okay? Because the bacteria will develop mold in the refrigerator. So it lasts over a month in the refrigerator.
How does this differ from Flexique? Because you brought up Flexique, and I didn't even go there with my mind that it was a similar product.
Well, I didn't mean to mention that.
It's okay.
I know you have to freeze that product after a period of time.
Oh.
But this, yes, but it all is. It's like your Deco gel.
Deco gel.
If you put your fingers, if you put your fingers in there and your hands are dirty, you're going to have bacteria growth no matter if it's in the fridge or not.
Yeah.
So what you have to remember to always make sure that you are using clean instruments and your hands are clean. And it doesn't matter whether you're wearing gloves or not. You have to wash your hands with the gloves on. You do not want to put the bacteria in there. That's the only thing I'm telling you. It refrigerates. This is a month old. This is from when the last time that I was on here.
Okay.
Whenever
Okay.
that was.
Yeah,
so,
it's not, at least
and the colors. What I like about it is I can get all my colors ready. The gelatin is cheap and the water's cheap.
Yeah.
And so now I'm going to show you. See, this is still nice and liquefied. The question that I haven't heard anybody ask is, how do you know when to dip it? Well,
Okay.
if you dip and it doesn't stick to the wire, then that's too hot. The other thing is, if you overheat gelatin, you destroy gelatin. So
Okay.
when I was on the stove, that's why I said, when it comes to just a steam, you take it off and stir it nicely so you don't get too many bubbles. And then once it settles down, you take the scum off it, and then this is what you have. Now I'm going to show you a sheet that I make also, not in this demo. I won't make them, but one day I will, for you, make bows.
Okay. Oh man, can you guys, I mean, is your brain going with all these possibilities? I mean, mine's going, and I'm not a decorator. I can imagine what yours is doing. So this is just yellow.
Okay, so yes, and these are clear. And so, like, let's say I was going to make a bow, and I want to. Now, I didn't use any sheets behind this, but that's why I do want to show you what gelatin plastic can actually look like.
Yeah.
You can take that. You probably can't see it, so I'll cut this one, and make all the loops and stick it into your gelatin, and it sticks. And then you stick it together, and you got all these pretty bows.
You can make a clear bowl, guys. A clear bowl. I don't think I've ever seen an edible clear bowl. Am I right?
No.
Okay.
But you do with gelatin. Now, you know that you and I are at a different age, and you used to see them in cake design, because I know gelatin plastic is very old.
Yeah.
Because I'm very old.
I'm older than you think, just so you know. I hide it.
Edible.
Look at that.
This is edible. This is gelatin plastic. And
That's so
I
cool.
used it for, I tinted it black, and I used it for film on one of my competition cakes. I use it for a lot of things. But I'm going to just cut this and go wonky.
I bet your brains are like going nuts. Talk to me, guys. Talk to me, because mine's going nuts. Okay. Just all the stuff I'm visualizing. Catherine, yes, you can make a bow with a printed transfer back to it. So you can do it clear, you can do it colored, or you could do an image on it as well. You could put people's faces all over it.
Yeah, you can, but they're really very pretty, and you do a full sheet on one of your transfer sheets.
I want to do
that. It lifts off, and you can make all these great decor. So I just stuck that into the gelatin, right? And then I put a pin on that, like a safety pin or whatever you got, and clip it together, and then it's ready to go on your cake. Something like sails or folds or whatever. But I like using on the back of this your transfer sheets. It's just that I wanted you to see the fullness of plastic. It's almost like you got it out of saran wrap.
Yeah,
but it isn't.
It reminds me of the cellophane so you would wrap.
You see how
a gift basket.
Yes. Yes, it's just like that, and you can color it with any color. I mean, when I did that competition, it was Karen. She was going on like, "Oh my gosh, is this film?" I said, "No." They called me up and they wanted to know how I got my posture so skinny. And I said, with my arms and a rolling pin. But anyway,
Yeah. Hours.
Had this and film. Yeah. So you see how you stick that?
Yeah.
So it would be the same with your flowers. You can do it in almost set up gelatin, and it sticks together. But with this, if I wanted the folds to show like little fans and things that go on the top of the cake or go up the side, and then you put one of your beautiful flowers in between that.
Oh yeah.
And it's a topper for your cake. It's a topper for your cake. And it's
Yeah.
all edible except for the center of that flower. So if you don't mind, I'm going to set this to the side and I'm going to make you a flower.
Yay. Okay, I'm excited.
Does anybody have any?
Are you guys dying? I'm dying with this. It's just so cool. You all have to make stuff and share it with us. I want to see what you guys come up with because there's so many possibilities with this. Am I just like overly excited? I mean, oh my gosh. Wow.
See, I use a clip. It's just a clip. And then this will set up shortly. And when I set it down, I'm going to set it onto acetate paper. That's what this paper is. I've got big, you can just order it from you and use the transfer sheets, and then everybody's got acetate paper.
Yeah, all the backings
plastic is not the same.
Yeah, that's true.
Plastic
the backings on the icing sheets, and the transfer sheets are acetate, and they do stand up to high heat. The backing on the Flex Frost will not, just so you're aware. It's a different backing. It's not as strong. So save all your backings from your icing sheets and your semi-transfer sheets. It's the good stuff, baby. All right.
Okay, so we have all these little pieces here. And you got to be careful with these centers because you don't want to play 52 pickup. Because I already did that this morning. It's like, okay, all right. So we're gonna make a center. So I'm going to take one of my little wires off of my American flag.
Oh, the magnet, yeah. Yeah, that was a
Magnet.
tip you taught us before. You put all your wires on one of those big magnets.
So I'm going to take kind of a skinny one because and I'm going to put all these together kind of at the same height. Take the wire, wrap it around there, pull these up like that, give it a twist. Okay, and it's going spread eagle, so we get some floral tape. I'm going to use some green because it kind of matches everything. Give it a stretch, and I'm going to wrap it on in the upper part up here. Tighten it up. So it stays together nicely. Okay?
Yeah.
So we just go around there. So now we have our center for our flower, and it'll spread shortly. So I'm going to take one of these things. I'm just going to bend it. Get it. And you know, if you have to, you can use a heavier wire, or don't use a wire at all, and then just put a little wire on the end, and then cut these to the shape that you want. I just prefer to use the wire. And I don't cut the tape in like half cuts. But Nicholas Lodge has a nice one. If anybody wanted skinny, cutter for the floral tape. Hope I'm staying in camera.
Yeah, you're doing good. I'm watching. I think I'm tired for all my excitement.
I think you had a birthday party there too.
Yeah, we did. Today was Zach's birthday. Zach's the dude that tests all the printers before they leave here. That's his job.
Oh, wow.
And so we pulled him out of the warehouse and we sang to him and got him ice cream cups.
Well, he deserved a birthday party.
He did, because he makes sure everything works before it leaves. And yes,
if they go a little wonky on you, don't worry too much about that because you can pull them back together.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually test every printer before it leaves here. We want to know everything works well, and we don't want you to get it and not be able to use it because that stinks.
Yeah, it really does.
So one of my pet peeves is we actually have somebody who does that because I hate getting something that doesn't work and you're all excited and it's like, oh,
So I'm just twisting the bottom a little bit more. Now, if you wanted a whole lot more petals on it, you can keep going and going and going and you fill them up.
But that's nice just like that too.
Yes, there's certain, you can make the wire so skinny and have that similar to the carnation that is got all the little straight up and down petals.
Yeah.
And you can do that by just painting, dropping some of the gelatin plastic onto a transfer sheet and then cutting them all. Just take one of the wires and just put it like at the bottom of where you've painted the gelatin onto the transfer sheet, and then you cut them all and they look like this awesome flower. So you see, you can take this and just bend it.
So I'm looking at this and I can visualize making a groovy cake, something from the 70s. Totally.
Yes. And then you can take those and you can spread them out if you want, but you can put as many, so you can put petal there, petal there, petal there, petal, 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 and then you've got a bouquet, and they all have different
patterns,
designs in the middle of them. And then we have a group here.
Look at that. It's pretty.
Put it together, and then these are gelatin plastic leaves.
Oh,
just
cool.
the plastic.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to, just like we did in the other demo, is you can take them just like our top of our palm tree, and you can just implement that into there. See
Oh yeah, there's the. Oh yeah. Okay.
See, that's all gelatin.
That's so awesome.
That's your wafer paper and gelatin.
Oh, so you have wafer paper on the gelatin, or gelatin on the wafer paper, I should say it that way.
That's wafer. And then I put the gelatin on top, and I put the just the veining is the wire.
Huh. That's cool.
So
you can put gelatin on the wafer paper to get that look, and then gelatin on the transfer sheets to get the other look.
Yes. And then you see this doesn't have anything. I'm coming back to you.
Okay.
These are just like, if you wanted to just, that's a leaf.
Yeah,
But
just a plain leaf.
Yeah, and you want to bend it. You were talking about bending. See?
Yeah.
Bends.
Yeah.
And it shapes. But let's say you just wanted to take that into looking different. You just snip it.
Simple.
As it is simple, and then you can go like this. And remember, you were talking about your feathers. Now, this is the wrong color for a feather, but you can do this and do it very finely, and you've got the other decal. But this goes very nicely also on your. I take your white wafer and I spray it. Airbrush it. I airbrush it lightly, and then I go over it again a little bit. As soon as it dries, I go over it again, and I have green, and that's what I did up there on the top of the palm tree. That's how I got my green, because you were out of it the day that I needed it. Yeah. And I'm going to put an order in very shortly because I need a bunch of your stuff.
Okay.
And still, yeah.
That's pretty cool. What do y'all think, man? This is great.
I want to show you this flower. This is a funky flower, and we do mention each time that if you're in a competition and you make a flower, please don't call it by name if it's fantasy. Right. Just say it's fantasy or your interpretation of your flower.
Yeah, pull it closer to you. We can't see it.
You can lose a lot of points.
Okay, there we go.
So I'm just making a center again. I'm going to make this center not quite as fat as the other one. Oh, you know what? I'll make a black center. Do you like black?
I like everything.
I think.
Let's see the black ones.
We'll stick with the white, because then you can see the white much better than you can see the black on this one. And then I always use a magnet for your wires.
Yeah.
You don't have to, get them, fridge magnets and all that kind of stuff. And it stops the 52 pickup off the floor. So I'm just twisting. And then I'm going to do the same thing. And you notice I didn't put an extra wire in here because these are on wire. So it makes it strong enough, and it's so light that you don't have to worry too much about having the support wire put in. If everybody doesn't understand what I mean by the support wire, that means in a lot of flowers like gum paste and sugar, we put an extra wire in here to support it from dropping. This doesn't need that because it's so light. There's my husband, Dave. It was our 32nd anniversary yesterday, and he made it special.
Oh, yay, Dave.
Flowers. Yay.
And you didn't have to make the flowers.
No, didn't have to make the flowers either.
But you couldn't eat them, I bet.
No.
I love hearing that. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. I think we're on 25 years coming up in a month. I told you I was old.
Well, you already know the story, and I wasn't even supposed to be here for 32 years. So
yep,
it's just,
we got a superwoman here.
I'm going to have a great grandchild.
Yay! Congratulations.
Yes, all the way up there in Canada.
Guess you're going to go on a road trip as soon as you can, huh?
Yes. They're having the revealing party, and they're going to Zoom me.
Yeah.
They're all so modern.
I know. We went to a funeral that was Zoomed. It was wild.
I did too. My uncle passed away in Canada.
It's just so different.
Yeah. But you know what? It was a nice to be able to be there in that
Yep.
mode because I would have missed the whole thing. And
Yeah.
it was my mom's brother, and
Uh-huh.
it was the last of the troop.
Yeah.
So it was
Aw.
good to be there. Okay, so you see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing 1, 2, 3, then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and this is another funky flower. And
That's
I
pretty
guess
cool.
everybody is trying to get used to me that I like funky flowers.
So that's why
And
I like
like
having
this.
you on. I love color and I love things that are just not, I mean, I love uniformity too, but I have a
Your
problem because I
product,
like to add too much color to things. That
and
everyone's
your
always telling
product
me.
is good.
Huh?
Your product is good. Like
Oh,
I've heard
thank
a
you.
lot of people ask the question about putting the wafer in the fridge on their cake. And I
Mhm.
do wafer flowers, and I put them on the cake in the fridge and over until they pick them up, and they don't seem to go anywhere. They seem to do okay.
Yeah, a lot of that depends on the humidity level in your fridge too. So
Well,
it
I
may
have
not work for others. Huh?
right. I have a control thing on this fridge behind me that takes the humidity out. I lost you. You went away. Okay. One more.
I'm back.
I see you. I see you. Okay, so then now we got another flower.
Uh-huh. Okay, hold it still for just a second so people can, so the camera will focus on it and people can see all that color.
I'm going to open it up for you.
Okay.
I'm just going to put a little more tape on the bottom so that I like to have a large stem so I can put other things on it.
Are you all seeing stained glass?
Yes, that's what this is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's used on gingerbreads. And I'm just opening this up because somebody asked, can you bend it after it's been set up? And yes, you can bend it. This is the ones that don't have the wire all around the edging, okay?
Yeah, bring it closer to you. There we go. Wow, beautiful. And that is my design too. I recognize it.
It's yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
So
how
you see,
vivid the colors are with that. I mean, those are some vivid colors.
yes. And you want that, want people to walk by and go, woo.
Yeah.
That's.
Can
So
you
are
all,
there any,
I mean,
you all
we've
see
been
that?
asking them. We've
Can I
been
answer
asking.
anything for anybody? Did they get the formula?
Yeah, we've been
So,
putting it up there. It's pretty easy. So pretty. I can't wait until we go back to SoFlo and you compete. I want to see what you make. Now that I know you so well and the things that you do, it's going to be fun to track it. You know?
Yes, I'm going to bring out, remember I told you I'd show you this great big cake that I was doing. Not the lamp. The lamp was for the non-cake category.
Uh-huh.
And when I get there, but I was working on an old-fashioned cake, and that's what it was. The theme was vintage Florida colors and vintage this and vintage that. And I used your, for the bougainvillea that I was making on this. So I was putting it into the cake competition part. And I'm going to go and get it. It's been sitting in the spare room since they canceled it. It's not totally finished, but you know that bride and groom that looked like John Travolta? That went in between the pillars, and it was a boardwalk. And I wanted you to see it because it's all done with your wafer.
Okay.
And it is still lasting.
Oh, wow.
The cake is not finished, but there was no reason to finish it because SoFlo was canceled.
Yeah.
And but I've kept it because I wanted you to see it. And if I can get it out here and you can see it, I would like other people to see how you can make and what you can make out of sugar and cake and your wafer.
Cool.
And I hand painted each one of the petals. I'll just be a minute.
Okay, go get it. Go get it. Can't wait. So guys, aren't you glad you stayed till the end? Because I love when decorators can do the show and tell and show us stuff they have behind the scene, you know, that back room. So I'm excited to see what she creates. So y'all have to make stuff and share it with me. I know I keep saying that. I actually think I'm going to go like do something today with it, and I don't decorate, you know that, because I just want to try it so bad. So I know you guys are bursting at the seams. So she'll be back with that cake in just a second. She's got such a beautiful kitchen. Isn't that gorgeous? Well, I like the subway tile in the back and just so many clean lines. So what do you think? What do you think? Are you dying like me? It's like so funny. I can't believe how excited I am. It is very awesome, Catherine. I want to see what you make. I want to see. Here she comes. Oh my goodness. Oh my, whoa. I'm speechless and I'm only seeing part of it. Let's see what she does. Oh, I think something's electrical.
Yes.
Ooh, there's electricity.
So it's
we only can see a small part of it. So you're gonna, yeah, you know what to do. Oh wow.
So the rails are off the stairway. There's a railing that went on the stairway. There's a light hidden in the bride and groom goes underneath here, and then there's Nichols Lodge's driftwood. I did that out of the reindeer thing. There's a whole lot of things that were on it. But what I want you to notice, this is your wafer, and this is sugar up the top, and the vines were coming up, and this is the old-fashioned dome that we used to have, remember, down on the boardwalk years ago. So I want everybody to realize that this is done with her wafer, and I used a little alcohol in that and the old-fashioned orangey color that was in that time period. And also this at one point in time was like sunrise. It's faded. Yeah. And this is just passage and wood grain made, and it had a railing on it. But the biggest thing is your product and how long it's lasted. That's 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
So this is still in very good shape. You know, as far as I go, this is not a real cake, of course.
Right. You
can see that it is all underlined with your wafer.
Oh, wow.
So that's part of me telling everybody, you know, it is a good product, because all wafer does not stand up. There are different grades of wafer, though.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, guys. I'm like stunned. I'm stunned. I'm speechless. I know that's hard to believe. Wow.
Well, it's going to go in the trash, so I just want you to see it. Well, I'm going to keep there's a lot of it that gets kept. So can I ask? I don't know what our timeline is, but did I fill you up?
We're past. We probably have to come to an end very soon. But you know, I'm going to get off the air with you and then book you again immediately. I think everyone's going to have to do that.
I have a lot of I wanted them to see how this goes together, and it really can go together and make a very attractive cupcake. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't. If you just get your acetate, keep your paper, and you just load up before you go to bed and put them together and put them on your cupcakes, or the butterflies. I mean, they do not melt on even if you didn't want the wire in it. You can lay them right on top and they do not disintegrate.
That's great. That's great. Wow. Thank you. This was like so amazing. I mean, one thing that I love is that half the time I kind of know what people are doing, but not really. So you can see this is like real amazement, like, whoa, with me.
So do you still have people on there? I will show you Sydney's, my Easter group. And
oh yeah, people are still watching. Yeah, people come and go throughout the whole thing, but yeah, and they go back and rewatch too. She wants to show us something else, guys. I guess we'll wait around. We got Marissa next week, guys. Marissa Valentine from the Sweet Chalet. She will be joining us. So that's going to be a real treat. I know many of you know her or know of her. One of the sweetest people you'll meet. And she's married to one of the funniest guys, Sam Rivera. You have to follow him on Facebook. He'll crack you up. I love watching his posts. Oh, wow. So tell me what you're going to show us now.
I'm going to show you the Easter showpiece, or show that I do for Easter.
Isn't she amazing, guys? I just love her. And you see that scientific mind, the way, oh, I just wanted to do this to see if I could, when she's showing you things.
I teach the young, I call them young chefs now because they've been doing showpieces. And this is Sydney's sugar. And I wanted to tell you, this is a year old.
Okay, so this is semi-isomalt, and we sell that on our page, on our site now. I'll put a link up there for you. Whee! Where's my mouse? There it is. There we go. Boom, it's right on this page. Oh, look at the bunny.
Yeah, there's a bunny.
He's so cute.
He's a cross-eyed bunny.
But only the best.
He was getting in trouble because he was stealing the carrot.
Look at his facial expression.
Cross-eyed bunny.
Oh my goodness. Aww. He's so cute. So he looks like my mother. That's a compliment. And she's really cute.
It is. I saw pictures. Yes. So anyway, the reason I'm showing you that is that you can get semi-isomalt, and it is a very good product. I mean, you know how hard it is for an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old and even a 6-year-old to temper sugar, and it has made it very easy for them. There's a little girl coming back. She's 11 years old. She was here the other day, and she's never touched sugar in her life. And she said, "Oh my goodness, I want to learn that because I'm getting ready for the Food Network." I said, "Okay, babe, I'll get you ready for the Food Network."
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm getting ready for the Food Network. Gotta love it. She's doing very well. So the baking the bake competition that they have for young, I call them chefs, but they're young people that bake very, very well and do a very good job. And so that is her focus. And that's really great when a person has that focus and she wants to learn determination. More. Yep. And she'll succeed. I mean, she knows what she wants. And she's working towards it.
And the paper did an article on her.
Oh, really?
The Naples, the Naples News did a full article on her. And she is as steady as anything. And then I have this other young girl. She's been coming for a long time, and she's the one that made 18 dozen Christmas cookies, and said, "Now, Chef, I can do this by myself." I said, "Okay, once I show you, away you go."
Yeah, that's it. Whoop, off they go. That's great. Oh my goodness! Thank you for sharing all that, and for sharing. I mean, that gelatin, it was amazing, and I am actually going to.
I hope they try it because it is. It is.
Yeah, I'm trying it. Yep.
And
So,
your transfers, your transfer sheets. I mean, and to be able to keep the acetate after you're finished with the sheet.
yep. Send me transfer sheets. I just put the link up. So thank you so
Okay.
much again. We're going to have you on, and I'm not sure what you're going to show us next that can beat this, but I know that you'll come up with something amazing. And
Yeah, I hope thanks.
yeah, so everybody
Thank you.
share what you create. I want to see what you come up with. And let's start a new trend here, a new old trend, an old new trend. Yeah, whatever.
And also, we're all getting to know each other.
Yes.
That's the reason I wanted to share some things, is because we can't see each other at the competition. So, and I don't know everybody unless we get talking to them at the shows. So now, you know a little bit about me, and I loved Kim's demo
Oh, yeah.
that she did her kitchen and allowed us all in there. That was wonderful.
It was. We're going to have her on. Actually, I was just talking to her today, trying to set up a new time. I'm thinking that at maybe one of the next shows, we definitely got to do like an Icing Images live get together or something with everybody, because there's like all these people. We know you all so well. You know, I know where you live and what time zone you're in. You know, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be so much fun. So. Well, thank you guys.
Okay.
Don't forget to use the coupon, and Marissa will be on with us on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. That's going to be on Facebook, guys. And I think that's it. Jessie and Riley, guys. Yay.
Thank you.
You are amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you all for
Thank you so
joining
much.
us.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we didn't run into technical difficulty.
Yeah, I just dropped off randomly, but it's okay.
Yeah,
You
that
did
wasn't
great.
hard.
You did great.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Happy
Okay.
decorating, guys. See you Tuesday. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care.